to Keto Weekly Update with your host, Alycia from Ketoupgrade.
Hey guys, welcome to Keto Weekly Update, episode 15. Good news, my cycle's over and I lost the 2 pounds, but I'm guessing that's why. But I've been less ravenous, luckily, with not having that to deal with anymore. I never used to really be like that, so I think it's just all the hormones and everything, plus getting back onto keto and everything that has made me feel different. My hormones are definitely just getting back to the way they were, I think, because I was hearing all this talk about postpartum hair loss and I hadn't dealt with it yet. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll, bypass that because my hair is the thickest it's been in a long time. And no, it's not just dyeing my hair because it was like 2 weeks after I did this that my hair started to fall out. So I've been on a really long hair journey. And I know this doesn't sound like it's keto related or diet related, but it is. I know people that do low carb sometimes do have hair loss, and I luckily haven't experienced that. But when I was younger, my hair was super thick. I'll try to find some old pictures and insert them. My hair was down to my waist, really long and thick. And it stayed that way. It got a little bit thinner from doing the bleaching and everything, mainly the 2 front parts here, because I would keep those blonde and do the rest black and stuff like that. So the front of my hair would get a little bit thin, but the first time, well, not the first time, if you watched my keto weight loss journey and my life weight loss journey, you'll know that I've fluctuated up and down several times in my weight. So not the first time I lost a bunch of weight, but the second time I lost a bunch of weight. I did it very unhealthy way. I was up to 268 pounds, and I talked to my doctor, and at the time there was a drug that came out that was supposed to help with weight loss, and I mentioned it to my doctor, and she said, it's really new right now. Most insurances aren't covering it, so it'd be really expensive for you to get on it. I said, okay. She's like, but I normally prescribe this for people that want to lose weight. And at that point, I was just so desperate that I didn't really think about it, and I didn't do any research about it, and I just said, okay. And it ended up being, it was phentamine, which I didn't know what it was at the time. But turns out it's basically speed. And yes, I lost a bunch of weight. And I felt great because I was hyped up and energized all the time. And I went to the gym 5 days a week, and I could go on that treadmill like crazy for a long time. And I was getting, my heart rate was getting up there a little bit and would freak me out a little bit sometimes. But I did lose. I went down to about 185 over a summer. I think I started it January is my 33rd birthday, I think it was 32nd or 33rd birthday. And I went on this diet. I restricted my calories. I was exercising like crazy. And by October of that year, I was down to 185. The phentamine, I didn't realize that it could cause hair loss. So my hair ended up getting really thin from that. And I wish other people had talked about that because I didn't hear about it until I had mentioned it to a friend of mine, and she sent me an article that said, oh, phentamine can cause hair loss. And I'm like, ew. And then I started researching it more, and I found threads of women who are basically like, I'm bald. Yeah, great. I lost all this weight and I'm thin, but now I have no hair. I wish someone would have told me this. So yeah, phentamine caused me to lose a lot of my hair. So since then, my hair has been pretty thin, and I have been kind of not really doing too much with it because of that. I'll show you a picture of when I was down to 185 and my hair was pretty thin. But I also did like color it one more time, I think, at the end of that year, and it was a little damaging, and so I lost some more hair. But the reason that I did this was because being pregnant, my hair was like the thickest it's been in a really long time. So I'm like, I might as well do it now. And my hair was pretty much all my natural color at that point. So I knew it would be a little bit easier to get it all blonde for the first time ever. I'll show you a picture of what I looked like with all blonde hair. It's kind of weird because I've never had blonde hair in my life. But now, all that to say, the hair loss has started again. So all that hair that didn't shed while I was pregnant and up to pretty much she was 4 months old. Yeah. And then my hair started falling out again. I'm like, oh. So my hair's going to be thinner again, but my hormones are at least getting back to where they are supposed to be. But that's why I did this haircut too, because thinner hair, if you have more layers in it, it looks a little bit fuller. So that's kind of why I did this haircut anyways. I gave myself this haircut back when I first was pregnant pretty much. So that's why I did it, was because my hair was pretty thin. Now that I was pregnant, it was nice and thick, but now it's thinning again. So hormones finally back, getting back into it. So hopefully I'll see some weight loss here soon. I'm still doing keto, sticking to it. We haven't really been going out very much, haven't been cheating. So hopefully the pounds will start coming off. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be very busy because one of my vendor shows actually canceled. The one I had pretty much every Saturday booked the entire summer ended up going to Friday nights and only 2 a month. So now I only have like 2 vendor shows a month. So I'm not going to be as busy as I thought I was going to be with my vendor shows, but I'm going to be busting out a lot of content. But the problem with content is that it takes a long time to edit, and that's when I get bored and I want to eat. But I'm going to try my best not to do that. We'll see. Hopefully once Van is crawling around and, keeping me busy, then that won't even be an issue. I'll just be chasing him all over the place. But speaking of Van, he is now taking nice long naps and not fussing before he goes down really. He might whimper for like a minute or two, and then he's out for an hour and a half, sometimes 2, and I can get some stuff done, which is nice. The problem is now overnight, he's fussing, but going right back to sleep, but waking me up on the monitor, like at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. But at least he's sleeping through the night. It's just the fact that he's a loud sleeper and like he wakes up and like fusses and like kind of makes grunting noises and crying noises, but then goes right back to sleep. But it's enough to wake me up, of course, because I'm a mom and I hear everything. And as soon as I hear it on the monitor, I'm like staring at it like, is he awake? Do I need to go do something? No? Okay. And then usually I turn back over, and I've been better about falling back to sleep, which is good. I've been working on my sleep. I had horrible sleep habits. I would watch TV before I went to bed and stuff like that. And I think it just messed up my whole rhythm and everything. So I've been working on my own sleep because I know it's a skill. Just like I'm teaching Van, it's something that I need to learn. So I'm getting better with it now, and I can usually fall asleep pretty quickly. I think it's because I'm just so tired now, being a mom and everything, but I'm able to fall asleep relatively quickly now. We'll see if that lasts or not. A lot of times when I started keto, I would be like really awake, and sometimes I still am at night. I have a lot of energy, but most nights I'm falling asleep pretty good. So speaking of content, I am batch shooting this week, and I was on such a good roll. And then the gas company called me and they're like, hey, we had a cancellation. You want us to move your gas line today? Because we need to move the gas line in order to put the new garage on the front of the house. I'm like, okay, sure. Figures it's on a Tuesday when I'm trying to shoot a bunch of videos and cook things on my gas stove and in the gas oven. But that is at least done. So now that that's done, the foundation can get poured for the garage. We already have the shed, so we moved everything into the shed. So the foundation for the garage is going to be going in next week. So renovations are well underway. Obviously, my office is just about done. Of course, not decorated yet. And actually, we're going to be moving my office upstairs. This is going to turn into like kind of a camping craft room for, hopefully I'll be able to have Van down here. We can do some crafting and stuff, and it'll just kind of contain the mess a little bit. But yeah, my office is going to be moving upstairs. It's just going to be easier because it's not soundproof down here, and his dad lives right there, and his bathroom is right there. So constant flushing and, talking, and the garage is right there. So working in there, and yeah, it's a lot of noise. Even though they insulated, it's still loud. So we're going to be moving my office again. So we'll have another different setting for videos coming soon, but I think it'll be better in the long run. And last but not least, we were without, speaking of the gas, so we were without gas for a whole day. They didn't come back and put a new meter on until the next day. And of course, in Buffalo, we're having our third winter. Like, it warms up for 1 week and then it goes and gets cold again. There was frost outside today. It got down to like 30 some degrees, and it's May 18th and we just had a frost. So I'm hoping my friend Christina did not plant her garden yet, because she said she was going to, but she lives kind of far away. So actually it might have been a little bit warmer where she is. We're right next to the lake, so it gets colder here usually. It was really cold last night. So luckily they turned the gas on yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning-ish, but it got down to like 40 something that night. Luckily we closed everything up like when it was still sunny out. So we had no windows open so that it kept the heat in overnight. But if we wouldn't have had heat today, like, overnight last night, it got down to 30 something, it would have been cold. But so we dodged a bullet there, luckily, because we would have been sleeping with Van in our bed, not in his crib, because he would have been freezing his butt off. But it's supposed to warm up next week. Yay. And we're going camping. So you should be seeing some keto camping videos coming up also. We're going to try and shoot 2 separate ones. We're going for like the whole Memorial Day weekend. So it should be fun. We'll see. First time camping he's going to be 5 months by the time we go. So we're going to be camping for the first time with Van. It should be fun. And my friend Christina and Matt are coming with their 2 kids. And yeah, so it's going to be a fun time. And I'm hoping to shoot a couple videos while we're there, because I'm going to be making some yummy dinners and stuff like that, and breakfast. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be pretty much caught up on weekly updates by the time I get those out. Slowly but surely. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Keto Weekly Update. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing. How's your summer going? Thank you for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up button. And as always, I'll be back with more keto videos. Bye guys. Look at you. What are you looking in there for? Hi, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Oh, it's so great.